there's so many things that kind of affected me along the way. Um, but I guess it was just like back in college when I was really starting to learn music. I was kind of late to music, so I started when I was like 18, and I was getting really into it in college. And I couldn't really afford a music teacher, but I was using all these like online resources and kind of teaching myself how to play. And
Uh-huh.
later, had the resources to get lessons and stuff. But I think it was really those first days and the online kind of courses that I took that really gave me this mindset of being able to play by ear and improvise and create on the piano, which I felt like all of the piano teachers that I would see were so focused on sheet music and reading sheet music and playing other people's music perfectly with the notes in line.
Uh-huh.
And that just like wasn't my style in the beginning, and it still isn't my style. And so I guess I like to serve people who are like me back then,
Yeah.
who didn't know anything about music theory, but just wanted to get jamming and playing my favorite songs right away.
Yeah.
Um,
Was there like a reason why you wanted to learn the piano at that time? Was it like what was the kind of like the context around that?
well, it's kind of funny. I was really into basketball in high school, and I would play basketball all the time. But then in grade 12, I broke my foot or my
Oh my
ankle.
God.
So I was out of commission for a while. So I had this little dinky keyboard that I was just kind of bored sitting there. I didn't want to like play video games all day. I wanted to do something productive. So I decided to just try to learn some songs on this little keyboard. I learned like the Mario song. That was the first song I ever learned,
Uh-huh.
and like just random video game songs. So that's actually where I first started learning music, was just because I broke my ankle, and
Really? Was that like during season?
got obsessed with it. Yeah, well, yeah, it was kind of. I wasn't on like the high school team.
Oh, okay. You
I was in like house league teams and stuff, and I played with my
gotcha,
friends.
gotcha.
But like, it was during the summertime. It was like when I
Uh-huh.
wanted to be outside playing sports for sure.
Yeah. Funny story, like I broke my wrist senior year of high school in volleyball, and it was at the beginning of the season, but it was also at a really bad time because our band, we had this big like trip to the Kennedy Center to perform. And when I broke it, like the timeline was like I wasn't gonna get my cast off until after the performance. So I'm like, oh no, am I gonna like miss it? And but like I was playing percussion, so luckily I didn't need like too much of my wrists and stuff like that. I was able to get by, and I got to play at the Kennedy Center still with the band, but but I had like a cast on. I was playing timpani with my cast, so it was definitely like a funny experience.
The wrist is always a tough one for musicians.
I know, I know.
Tendonitis
Um,
symptoms.
yeah, I know. But what I've noticed though is that like the teachers that have like the most creative methods and the ones that are really different are the ones that have like that different upbringing. Like I had another teacher on for the podcast, and he didn't learn the traditional way like I did with like reading from sheet music, and he learned by ear. And I feel like that's something that I wish I had more skill in, because I'm so classically trained that like I feel dependent on the sheet music, and I
Yeah,
didn't get to really learn by ear until I started playing for church. And um, but yeah, I'm really glad that that's your background is so different than other pianists as well.
I think they're two completely different skills: reading sheet music and playing it perfectly to a
Mhm.
metronome, and like improvising and coming up with songs and just like jamming over a chord progression or something. I think those are two
Yeah,
completely different skills. Most
yeah.
people focus only on one, and yeah, go ahead.
So when did you start teaching piano? Like, was it like like how long after you started learning it until you started teaching?
So it was a hobby for a really long time for me. I was
Uh huh.
after college, I went to teach English in South Korea. Before that, I had kind of a couple students who I like taught a little bit, but not like a full job.
Uh
And
huh.
then in Korea as well, I had a couple students who I would tutor guitar and piano. And then it's when I came back from Korea in 2018
Yeah.
when I really just like dove into the music industry, and I decided that I had all this teaching experience and I was very proficient in music. So I decided to jump into music, and I got it started at a Montessori school at the time.
I feel like we talked about that last time, but like why? Like, what was the reason for going all in on music after Korea?
Well, I think being in Korea was kind of like a soul searching experience for me. I was like,
Uh-huh.
I wanted to come back and like know what I wanted to do, because after university, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I was like, I had a couple things maybe. Um,
What did you do in college?
actually went to university for child and youth care. So I was
Mm,
originally thinking of working with
okay.
kids, and being in like social services, like some government programs or something. But when I was just like reflecting and studying music so much after university, all I did was study music, because that's kind of all I did during university, anyways. Instead of studying for my exams, I would study music, and it was like really my passion. And I think I realized that when I was living abroad, that I just like, this is what I love doing more than anything else in the world.
Uh-huh.
And if I had all the money in the world, I would go spend it all on music education and just surround my life in music. So even if
Yeah.
I don't have all the money in the world, at least I can still surround myself in music and spend my life studying. And it's tough, but I just decided this is what I really needed to do to be like fulfilled in my life.
Yeah. So I guess like what were the chapters or like the steps leading towards you then like launching fundamentals? Like what was that like?
Yeah, so it was just I didn't have a business plan at first or anything. I just jumped in. I was teaching music at a Montessori school at first, and then that transitioned to me teaching private lessons to the kids. I had like, there was a classroom with a piano, so a kid would come in and we'd have a little lesson, and I got
Hmm.
tons of students that way because parents loved that they didn't have to bring their kid to piano class. They would just go in the middle of the day. So that's how I got a lot of my first students, and I started to realize like I really love teaching piano. Like, this is so much fun, and I just love being at the piano and showing people how cool music can be and how much fun it can be. Um,
Yeah.
so that was really my start. And then the next chapter, I was also doing a couple other music gigs. I was doing like entertainment gigs, and
Hmm.
and then COVID happened, and then I lost all of my kind of jobs. So that's
Mm.
where in 2020, the big transition happened, where I started teaching online lessons and I started opening up to more students. Not, I was also working at some piano academies and stuff
Yeah.
pre-COVID, like a bunch of side work. But during COVID, that's where I really started creating my own business and teaching my own lessons and my own curriculum, and
Hmm.
developing the
What was
program. So
what was that like feeling like going into COVID, having to do your own thing, coming from like teaching at other places? Like what was your experience like with that?
well, it was definitely stressful time because uh, I wasn't like planning on making that jump right away. And actually, I was about to start like doing some stuff with my recording career, but that had to be delayed as well.
Mm.
Um, but um, yeah, it was actually really nice feeling like I'm starting to build my own business, and I'm not like building somebody else's business. And all of these clients that I'm working with are my clients, and I was getting all these recommendations from clients, so I kept getting a lot of word of mouth stuff. So for a long time,
Yeah, in
I
the
was getting
beginning.
word of mouth clients, one-on-one clients.
Yeah, I feel you, especially like when I remember like the early days of me teaching piano too. Um, it was like, oh, so and so saw you teaching or saw you playing piano at church. Like you teach lessons too and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Um, so I feel like every piano teacher, like it kind of we start the same way. Like someone sees you play and then they want to learn.
exactly. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So like being able to start your own business, start your own piano studio, like what was it like balancing that with the artist career then? Because like if people don't know, like I know like you have like your own artistry that you're focusing on as well. Like what was the balance like in the beginning?
Yeah, it can be a lot, because like being an artist is a lot more work than people realize, I think. Like, like not only writing the songs, it takes a lot of work and time to just write a good song. So writing songs, getting them produced, recording them in the studio, and then trying to promote them and get people to come out to gigs and stuff. It's a lot of work that goes into it. So juggling that and the teaching can be a lot sometimes, but I also think they kind of feed each other. Sometimes,
what's your perspective on that?
well, sometimes, my students and the students' families and the parents get excited about my music too. And I always love this. I've had a bunch of little students who like want to learn my song on the piano or on the guitar, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like, and when I perform, people want to take lessons, and when I take lessons, people want to see me perform. So they kind of feed each other in that way sometimes.
Yeah, I love that. So then going from there now to like fundamentals, like can you give a little bit of context on like what that is exactly if people don't know?
Okay, yeah. So Fundamentals is the next evolution of my kind of piano program, and it's what I developed in the last couple of years, working with some business coaches, just building up a 10-week program that provides a lot more value than just one-on-one regular lessons. So there's like there's videos that go along with each week module, and there's like a special resource that I made, and like showing the kind of the concepts with no sheet music, just showing like visually all of the concepts.
Yeah.
And
So if I was a student, if I wanted to join like tomorrow, what's like the experience look like? What does the experience feel like on a week to week basis?
So you would, if we started tomorrow, I would send you the login to fundamentals.com. You can now log into the website and see all of the modules. And usually we start, if you're a beginner, we'll start with just going through the 10 weeks, 1 week at a time. So the first week, you watch the first week's module, and then we kind of go through. So basically, the basic rundown of the thing, there's like 3 modules that spell out JAM.
Oh, really? Love it.
The J is for like jump in, and then we're learning just the basics, the bird's eye view, if you will, of music and all the basic building blocks and vocabulary to start becoming fluent in music.
Yeah.
I like to talk about it as like a language.
Yeah. So it seems pretty like self-paced, but then I also get like access to you if I need that support. Is that right?
Yeah. You get access to me. We get one-on-one lessons every week, and also like a WhatsApp chat that you can send videos, and I can send videos. It's really easy for me to like send a video with the kind of the piano keys and stuff, so people can follow along. Or I can, if there's a concept that needs refreshing, I can explain it. Or a song, I can really show them.
Did it start off like with all of these things, or did it kind of like build as you went and improved and iterated?
Yeah, definitely built.
Okay.
Figure a lot of stuff out especially with the online lessons. There's a lot of stuff I had to figure out with how it all works, and definitely took a long time to record the video lessons and make the resources and lesson notes and all that stuff. I've had the program kind of in my mind for a really long time, though. I actually wrote down these 10 weeks on the plane ride from Korea to Toronto. I wrote down what I would want to do with the 10-week program. I just took a long time to actually like build that program. Now that I have it, like, it's so nice it feels good to provide a lot more value to people. Like, I see with people going through the program a way bigger change, way faster than people who have just taken day-to-day lessons, gone through a lesson book, or learn a song at a time or something.
Yeah. How so? Like, what do you see exactly? Do you have like an example or a story about that?
I think it's just the progression that I've built, like giving people just the basic fundamentals, the fundamentals, and having them really understand these basic concepts, so that when we learn songs, they can start to like understand the songs and make sense of them, and recognize the patterns.
Yeah.
And then when you start recognizing patterns, then you can start creating and making your own music using those kind of patterns, and you get your own style. You realize the types of things that you like. And I think that's just so much deeper than just learning a song, learning how to play a song.
Yeah, hundred
Because at the
percent.
end, they can also just like by themselves go and look and learn a song really quick using chords or um yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what really makes your method unique. Kind of going back to what we talked about earlier, that like the way that you learned the piano is just so different than what other method books teach and how other teachers teach as well. Um, and I always feel like every single teacher has such a unique method because we grow up so differently and we have that unique lens that we can teach it through,
Mm.
that really nobody else can replicate. Um, so like for you, I guess for when you were actually starting to go from teaching lessons to going into this online program, like what did you feel like were the biggest challenges or the biggest hurdles like you had to go through to like that transition period from going from what you were doing before to what you're doing now? What did that look like? What were some of those challenges?
Um I guess okay, so I guess before the program, like now I'm trying to find like higher value clients who are willing to
Hmm.
really invest in themselves and make a big change fast. And before I wasn't before I created this program, I really wasn't doing any kind of outreach or advertisements or marketing at all. I was
Hmm.
only word of mouth, and I filled my schedule with kind of low ticket clients with just word of mouth referrals. And
Hmm.
so uh, after making the program, I learned a lot more about marketing and sales and really trying to like find people who are perfect fit for this kind of program. So like, that was the
Oh,
biggest
who?
challenge is learning about marketing and sales.
Yeah, who is a perfect fit for this?
But somebody who is just maybe getting started on the piano, maybe they've taken some lessons, but they don't like sheet music. They just want to play their favorite songs. Maybe songwriters are also a really good fit because I'm a songwriter and I
Hmm.
love helping people. Even I've helped so many people learn how to play their own songs, which I think is really
Hmm.
cool. Um, or learn how to create inspiring chord progressions.
Yeah.
Maybe producers who are like just getting started with the piano, or guitarists who want to take a uh, transition to the piano. Because I also a guitarist, I have kind of a guitarist mindset, so
Hmm.
I think that's why I work well with songwriters and guitarists. We can
Yeah,
kind
I
of
think
blend both things.
I 100% agree. That's so important. And I mean, there's a reason why every single music student in music school has to take piano. And luckily, like I had that background. It was kind of a funny story. Like I had to, uh, you have to take you have to take 2 years of piano, um, at my school. And because I was already had that background in piano, like I got to test out of it, but they still wanted me to take like 1 year piano. So I was signed up for like the third year, like year three of piano, which was for piano majors. Even though I was like a music ed major doing percussion. And,
Mm.
uh, and then when it came time to like when my freshman year started, I was supposed to take that class. It was conflicting with like my band class, and that took priority over that. So they just like my band director was like the um what's the right word, like counselor or like the person in charge of your schedule for the major. He just kind of like waved off that year. So I didn't take like any piano in college, but I think it would have been a good experience too. And then now when it comes to like me producing, um piano is such like I'm so glad I have that
Good deal, right?
experience. It makes songwriting composition so much easier. And
Mm-hmm.
I can definitely see how if I didn't have that, it'd be hard. So it's awesome that you're providing that solution for songwriters and producers and composers and things like
It's
that.
such a good tool, right? Like it
Hmm.
can be any instrument. Like for producers, like you can make
Yeah.
like so many different sounds, and it's just such a powerful instrument. And for
Hmm.
songwriters, it's just like such a good way to visualize music. On the
Yeah.
guitar fretboard is really confusing to think about. Where's the sharps and flats?
Yeah, I'm not a guitar person. I took I took like one semester of guitar methods, and I passed the class. I did well, but like I just know my piano hands are just not fit for for guitar.
Takes a lot of finger strength. That one is a bit of a
Uh-huh.
longer learning curve to get the finger
Hmm.
strength too.
So for you, like with marketing and um selling the course as like the most challenging part, like how have you learned? Like what have you learned about marketing? What have you really improved on over your journey with doing that?
Just kind of how to approach people, how to talk to people and get them and have like genuine conversations with people
Mm,
who you think are a good fit. And I've also learned a lot. I've been doing Instagram ads, so I kind of I got my kind of my thing that people can DM me something if they're interested in this, and so I found that very effective. Like people
nice.
DM me something, and then I start the kind of conversation with them and ask them about what kind of things they've been struggling with on the piano and what their goals are, and then see if I can help them and get them on a call and having these kind of calls with people that I don't know was kind of new to me at first too. So I've gotten better at
Uh-huh.
that.
Nice. What are you like learning with that? What are you getting better at?
Just I guess yeah, being like confident about what I'm talking about and that I can help this person and not being so like scared to tell them the price or just kind of working with them and really making sure that I know the person really well and exactly what they want so I can tell them
Mm,
exactly I'm going to help them achieve their exact goals. I think that's the most
yeah.
important part, just knowing what their goals are so you can tell them I can help you get to this goal.
Yeah. Makes sense. So I guess now, like, oh wait, how long have you been running this program for exactly?
It's been about 2 years, which
Two
is
years.
on the second year now. It's pretty that's fundamentals program. Yeah, about 2 years.
Yeah. So nowadays, like, because I know um you're picking up more steam on your artist career, like fundamentals is growing. Like, how's the balance now with making sure you have your own time for your music and this program as they're both growing? What does the balance look like for you right now? Like, how are you managing those things? I know a lot of teachers watching, like, they're probably really busy teaching and they want to make time for their own artistry, but they don't know how to make the time or they're not able to. Like, what's your experience now with
Yeah,
that?
it's really tough. Like I've definitely since I've started doing the program and I've started valuing what I do, um I've found that it's still I still have to work a lot, but I'm able to like not have to overbook myself just to get by. Like
Mm.
I think doing the math on some of these things really enlightened me. Like if I did a $30, like I was kind of doing 25 $30 lessons starting off, if I was to continue doing those $30 for half an hour lessons and and doing them for like 30 students, which is kind of a lot of students, I think. I probably could do a little bit more, but it would be really kind of getting uncomfortable above 30, I think, for me.
Hmm.
Because I really want to be able to focus on my students too. And having
Yeah.
too many students, it's hard to really give the students the focus that they deserve.
Hmm.
So now I'm able to still kind of get by with less students, and I'm able to focus on them more and have a little bit more time to also work on my own artist stuff and keep doing that because I don't want to
Yeah.
give up on that too. It's that's what I really want to do. That's what drives me. I also love teaching, but I always want to do both of them. Um, I know it's kind of hard. Some people like say you have to choose either you're an artist or you're a teacher. But I love being both of those things, so I
Hmm.
don't think I ever really want to stop being either one.
Yeah. And you don't have to. Like that's what I really align with as well. It's like um at the core, I always believe this. It's like at the core, we are musicians. We aren't music teachers. And that doesn't mean that like one is better than the other or anything like that, but there is a world where we can have both of them. And there's a world where and this is the time right now where we should have both when we have all the tools available to make teaching um that consistent income coming in, but then also fulfill ourselves with our passion. And where my artistry really started was like when I just had so much time. Like I was doing mostly like coaching, and I had extra time. And outside of coaching, I wasn't really doing anything other than like watching shows or going to Target and walking around or something like that. So when I started getting back into music, I like practiced drums, I practiced piano, I started music production, and out of all of those, like I decided to stick with the music production because I felt like that was something that I really wanted to continue since starting that in high school. And I took a
Hmm.
break and I started doing that again. And
That's
I
cool.
feel like, yeah, I feel like having that balance now of coaching and also my artist career, like it's allowed me to have more conviction in my message because I'm practicing what I'm preaching. If I'm showing if I'm showing teachers a way to be able to have that consistent income, but then also have time for their own music, like I got to do that as well. So I'm really
Hmm.
glad that you're finding your way, you're finding your balance through that.
Yeah, I definitely want to get more into the production stuff too. I've kind
Oh,
of
really?
gotten kind of deep into it. I use Logic and I make my
Uh-huh.
demos on Logic, but there's so much to it, you know, like just like music, there's like it's so deep. There's so much you can learn.
Yeah,
It's overwhelming.
I'm like I'm really deep into production, but I know that vocal mixing and working with vocalists and stuff like that, it's a whole nother world as well. So that's something that I want to get more experience in with as well.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, like with like I guess with fundamentals now, I know that you said that it seems like you have more capacity just to be able to do other things outside of teaching. Um, I guess like how do you feel like the model that you are in has uh how else do you feel like the model that you're in has benefited your life or giving you a better quality of life and allow you to see a better vision for yourself teaching and performing?
I think it just I kind of I value myself more and I feel more um inspired, I guess. And like just the kind of clients that I'm getting are exactly the kind of clients that I love working with. So it's like
Uh-huh.
I felt like like when I was just getting started, I was working with anybody. I would take
Mm.
all these 4 year olds and 3 year olds. And I don't know if you ever worked with a 3 year old on piano before, but it's not what I want to do. It's not my passion, anyways. Um, so what now
Yeah,
that I'm
you
doing
gotta go through it. You gotta go through it to know to
yeah,
know if it is
everybody
or not. Yeah.
yeah. And I think there are like 4 year olds that I've loved to work with too, actually. Like
Yeah.
but it's just like allowed me to I don't know, people going through the program, it's fun for me to teach because I've taught this exact lesson a bunch of times. Every single week in my 10-week program, there's like a mind blowing moment where I get to blow
Mm.
their mind with some kind of music fact that I know they've never heard before. So I just love those kind of moments. Like
Yeah.
I think what I did is I looked back at all of the moments when I was learning that made me go like, "Whoa, I didn't realize that like they're all connected. Like I didn't realize that. Blew my mind."
Yeah.
All those aha moments, I tried to put all of those in my course so I can it's so fun. During the 2 months I get to like give them blow their mind every week and you just
Yeah.
don't get that with regular lessons.
I feel you with the kids thing. Because when I was graduating, I before I graduated, I like my vision for myself was I thought I was going to be like elementary school like music teacher. I really liked that semester. I was teaching a lot of kids on the piano, and like I really like working and teaching kids. Like it's such a cool experience. Um, it definitely takes a certain type of person though. And by the end of it, like I I did a I did a fellowship my senior year of college, and that was like the first year when COVID really hit. Um, that was what like 2020 going into 2021, and I did a fellowship where I shadowed a elementary school band teacher, and I had to teach elementary school band over Zoom. We were playing the recorders, and we had a whole year of doing that, and it was such a unique experience. But that experience, I don't know, something just told me that like this is not the path that you're supposed to be on. So I went all in more on like my piano studio and coaching as well.
Mm.
But yeah, it takes like that experience for you to know what you actually want.
Yeah,
A
exactly. You
question,
gotta do things.
yeah. So with you and like, if you can go back to the time when you're building your curriculum, I know that a lot of teachers that I work with have big questions around creating their online course. Where do I start? Like, what do I even put in there for you? What was your experience like? How did you build your curriculum? How did you know what to initially start off with? And then like how did it iterate? How did it evolve since then?
So I, being self-taught for a lot of my learning, I have took so many online piano courses. I have
Mm.
taken a bunch of different online piano courses, online ear training courses, online guitar courses, online songwriting courses, online singing courses. Like I've taken so many online courses. So at this point, I kind of realize
Yeah,
what
you
an
have
online
that.
course looks like and what a good
Yeah.
online course looks like. And so I try to emulate the best courses that I've taken and take the best bits from all the different. So even if you haven't taken like an online course, just look back at all your best teachers, at all the moments where you've had like breakthroughs with your
Yeah,
teachers,
those
and kind of
aha
put
moments.
those into your program. Yeah. Or try taking an online course and seeing what you like about it and what you don't like about it.
Yeah, makes sense. Has it like the 10 weeks that you have, like has it changed since you started it, or is it still mostly like the same foundations?
Yeah, it's pretty much stayed the same.
Hmm.
It yeah, some things shifted a little bit, and the way I show things changed. Sometimes things were simplified, and like little things are skewed. But what's really cool about this program too is every student that goes through it, I feel like it gets better. The program gets
Mm.
stronger. I get more confident in teaching it. Every time somebody goes through it, it gets stronger and better.
Yeah, I've definitely heard that from a lot of teachers as well when they do their own hybrid model and things like that. It's like for lessons when you teach something, you gotta like reteach it,
Hmm.
and sometimes you have to reteach lessons when students forget. But when we have like this type of program, like it compounds where each thing you create like makes the program better. You can create a new training, and it makes the program more valuable because of that. Um, so that's really cool that you mentioned that.
Yeah, it could save you time too if you like want to show them a concept and that they've already seen. You can just tell them
Uh-huh.
to watch the video. It's there where I explain it, so you can
Yeah.
share your old videos and like creating that kind of wealth of resources is really
Hmm.
good.
Do you have any like hesitations, mindset blocks as you were like first starting to implement fundamentals into your own teaching?
Yeah, I guess. Well, I always wanted to do like an online course, but I guess at first I kind of envisioned it being more of like just a like you just watch the videos and pay me, and we don't have any interaction at all.
Mm-hmm.
Really, that's what I kind of at first envisioned.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of learned that that's not really the best approach to get started. At least um,
Mm. What have you found best?
I think it's best to like people appreciate having a one-on-one interaction and being able to like for me to know you and be able to help you get through those specific the problems that you're having because a lot of times people don't even understand the problems that they're having. They just know they can't do
Mm.
it.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
it really helps to have that person tell them what the problem is and how to fix it.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Well, cool. Like, I'm glad we got to like break it down and everything. I'm kind of
Yeah.
curious, like, what's next for Aaron? Like, what's your vision moving forward now for yourself?
I just want to keep building this thing, and I'm going to start doing group lessons and getting people into some online groups and trying that thing out,
Uh-huh.
and keep releasing music and yeah, I just want to keep
You got
doing it
anything
because I
like,
love what I'm doing right now, which is that's what's really important.
yeah, you got anything exciting you're working towards with the music part?
I'm recording. I'm in the process of recording two songs right now,
Uh-huh.
different producers. So I'm excited. Those should come out. I just came out with an EP in the spring, so I'm kind of still working.
Yeah, I saw you doing that.
Yeah. So I'm
That's
excited
awesome.
about that. Still working. Gonna just do a bunch of shows this summer and promote that, and I should have some new music coming soon.
Okay, okay. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward. Um, but other than that, like, is there anything else that you want to share that you think would be helpful for teachers? Like, any last thoughts? Appreciate you for sharing everything.
I don't know. Yeah, there's so much. Just be confident in your teaching, and I mean, depending on where you are, I mean, just I don't know. There's so much. Just keep going and keep enjoying it, and value your lessons. I think that's the. I think valuing your lessons is a mindset thing that a lot of early teachers start. You have to start and jump in at some low price point. Everybody kind of starts that sometimes, but like eventually, like you have to value yourself if you want to do this as a career and charge what you're worth, what will help you get by and actually like survive as a person. So
Hmm.
just valuing yourself and your lessons, and to do that, creating as much value as possible for your clients and being the best teacher by creating like a wealth of resources or something where you can provide more value and feel confident.
Hmm. I love that. Yeah. Again, thank you for sharing your story, sharing everything. I know that for me, my biggest takeaways um, is like the unique lens, the way that you grew up learning piano. It's just so different. That's what makes you unique, and you being able to show more of that yourself. Like I'm always a big supporter. Keep going with that, man. I'm always here to support and see your journey grow.
Thanks, Ben. Thanks for
Yeah. Is
having me.
there, of course, what's the best place that people can um, reach out to you and connect with you?
So I do most of my stuff on Instagram.
Instagram, cool.
You can tag Fun Jam Mentals is my Instagram, or I'm also my artist Instagram is Aaron John Jams.
Cool,
So
cool. Yeah,
um,
I'll include all of that in the video somewhere.
yeah,
Sweet.
and
Well,
you can check out fundamentals.com or
oh, perfect.
find me on Spotify at Aaron John.
Oh, yes, yes, awesome. Well, cool. Like again, always appreciate you. Um, Thanks so much for being on. Like it's a pleasure for me just being able to learn from you, and I'm glad we got to share your story.